What's up guys, I'm BTC. Hammond is an incredibly interesting and unique character, but he's also kinda tricky to play. So today, I'm gonna show you how to be the best hamster you can be. Hammond the Hamster, also known as Wrecking Ball, Blizzard, please just change the name to Hammond, is an incredibly fun character, but as I said, he's tricky to learn. He's got a very high skill floor and a very high skill ceiling, so in order to be effective, you're going to have a lot of practice and a lot of mechanical skill. But don't worry, I got you covered. I did a ton of testing, I got all the numbers for you, as well as some tips and tricks. We're going to start out by going over his attacks and his abilities. His primary attacks are the quad cannons. They are hit scan, meaning they'll instantly hit any target no matter how far away they are. They do 5 damage per hit. There's a moderate spread when you go full attack. And also, damage fall off begins at 15 meters and then will cap at 50% damage reduction once it goes up to 25 meters. He can also fire 25 shots per second and has a total of 80 ammo. His first ability is the roll. This will transform his spider mech into a ball and increase his movement speed up to 10 meters per second. It also has the added bonus of making his quad cannons automatically reload, and Hammond is completely immune to critical hits while in the ball form. The Grappling Claw can be attached to most surfaces and will act as a tether, allowing Hammond to significantly increase his mobility and his speed, while also providing a knockback and damage potential when colliding with enemies. The claw itself has a range of 18 meters. The damage potential when Hammond reaches max speed is 50 per enemy, and the cooldown for the claw itself is 5 seconds. The Piledriver is an aerial ability that can do 100 damage to anyone directly below you, and will slowly have fall-off damage down to a minimum of 20. Enemies that are hit by it will also be knocked up into the air. The total range is 8 meters in all directions, the cooldown is 10 seconds, and the minimum height you need to be in order to activate this ability is 2.5 meters. To give you an idea, that's slightly higher than the height of a Reinhardt. The Adaptive Shield is an incredibly powerful temporary self-barrier. When activated, Hammond will gain an additional 100 shield, plus an extra 100 for every enemy within a 7-meter radius. The duration of the shield is 7 seconds, and the cooldown for the ability is 15 seconds. Hammond's ultimate is the Minefield. When activated, it will deploy 15 total mines in a circle surrounding Hammond. Each mine will have 50 health, they last for 20 seconds, and deal 130 damage per mine. They also have a significant knockback effect, so if an enemy comes into contact with one, it's possible for them to be knocked into a neighboring mine. Now let's go over some tips and tricks. The first thing is that Hammond has a custom setting in the options. If you go to options, go to controls, change all heroes to Wrecking Ball, under the Hero tab, you'll notice it says Toggle Grappling Claw. You can turn this on, and what it does is it makes it so that when you fire out the Grappling Claw, it will stay attached without you having to hold down the button. So you can move around and do whatever you want, and then release it later by either pressing the button again, using your adaptive shields, attacking, or jumping. All of those will break the Grappling Claw. Now I know most people probably are not going to want to use this, but just in case you do, I wanted you to know it's there. Gaining maximum speed is quite easy, and doesn't require a very long tether to a wall. The mistake I see a lot of people make is they try to hold the tether a little too long. So instead, just throw it out, and only hold it for a second or so, and you'll get a big burst of speed. Then you can carry that to wherever you want. You can use this on things that are above you as well, and if you hold it a little bit longer, you can get a bunch of vertical movement as well. Once you're locked onto something, you can control your movement by pressing the direction that you want to travel. It's important to change this button press from forward to back, left to right, at the very last moment. That way you can keep your maximum speed bonus and deal damage to any enemies that happen to come into the area. Gaining vertical height to get up onto high ground is quite easy. Just attach your grapple up high, and then as soon as you begin arcing upward, release the grapple, and you should get up on top of the high ground with no problem. When you do get launched high into the air, don't just use your Piledriver right away. Instead, you should look down and attack with your quad cannons, and then follow it up with the Piledriver. You'll get extra damage, it's difficult to defend against, and because you're directly above their head, most of your attack will be criticals. A good strategy during a fight is to use up all of your ammo and then immediately animation cancel the reload by going into your ball. The reload will continue to happen, but you'll also get the bonus mobility of being in the ball, and you'll be immune to all criticals. Then you can just swap back out and continue your attack. Now, I want to point out, this does not reduce the total time it requires to reload. It simply gives you the extra mobility of the ball and the immunity to criticals, so it's still definitely worth doing. A lot of players seem to think you have to be really high in the air in order to use the Piledriver, or that you have to swing off of something and then use it. But that's simply not the case. As I showed earlier, it's about 2.5 meters you have to be off the ground in order to use the Piledriver. There's lots of objects throughout the map that you can use. One of the best one is going to be the payload. The general rule is if you can get above Reinhardt's head, then you can use the Piledriver. Another thing to keep in mind about the Piledriver is when you activate it, you go up first, and then he goes crashing down. So you can use it as an effective double jump. Let's say we want to get on that ledge, jump towards it, use the Piledriver, the little upward boost will put me right where I want to be. A really good combo for Hammond is to use the grappling hook to swing yourself high above the enemy team. Look down and get some easy criticals with the quad cannon, followed by the Piledriver to deal more damage and to disrupt the enemies by knocking them into the air. Then you can use your adaptive shield to gain a massive temporary health bonus while you continue your attack. As you start to lose health, you can quickly change into the ball, use the grappling hook to gain max speed, and get out of danger while knocking all of the enemies out of the way. Now some of you might be wondering, well, what about the different interactions between Hammond's abilities and other characters? Well, you're in luck, because I already made a video myth-busting all of the different interactions. There'll be a link for that on screen and down below, so you can go and check it out after you're done watching this. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out my Discord server. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter. The links for that stuff are down below. And remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault. Also, special thanks to all my Patreon supporters for helping to make this all possible. If you'd like to see what kind of cool rewards you can get for supporting the channel, check the links on screen and down below.